Yo ho ho! So today I want to do a old style shooting the shit discussion video because it is something that I haven't done in the longest time, and these are my favorite types of videos to film, so I thought, why the hell not? Let's address some things that have been happening in the community as of recently. So the topic is Booktube has changed and so have I, and I put up a post on my Twitter a few weeks ago asking what are your thoughts on the idea that Booktube has changed. I'll just jump into it and start tackling it right away. The Library of Sara says, I noticed a lot of people trying to force personalities that are not their own. I feel like this wasn't a thing years ago. I feel like people have been using the personas for years and have adopted them to cover up the insecurity and lack of confidence when it comes to making videos. I think it's safe to say that most of us do suffer from some sort of anxiety disorder. Most of us are quite introverted, so it's a no-brainer that some people would adopt a persona to make themselves feel a bit more confident when it comes to posting videos. Whether this goes into the idea of someone being a fraud because they have a persona, I really don't think so. I think it is just simply a more amped up version of themselves, and I don't think there's anything wrong with adopting a persona if that's something that you feel you need to do in order to lessen your anxiety when it comes to posting a video, because it is very anxiety inducing. You know, you're making a video and putting it up for thousands of people who you don't know to see and to judge. So why would one not be nervous about that? And I think it's very interesting the discussions that have been happening around this idea recently. One being Kat's video that she made a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head, but it's a video where she was just completely and utterly brutally honest about how things are going in her life and how she feels when it comes to making videos. I thought it was wonderful. I feel like the weight was lifted off a lot of people's shoulders when that video came out. She verbalized things that other people had been feeling for a very long time, and then people felt safe to come out and say, yeah, I'm someone who's been really anxious and I've been suffering from depression and I haven't told anyone and I don't know what to really do about it, but I'm going to try to get through it. It started this whole new dialogue, and I think Booktube and mental health mashed together very well, and I used to really enjoy making videos on mental health. It's something that I kind of stopped doing, not on purpose. I think I just wanted to focus more on making books, and then I feel like now I've pigeonholed myself into being a Booktube channel, though this channel was never that to begin with. I'd make a video on whatever the hell I felt like it at the time and I'd post it, but now I feel like I'll be given out to if I post non-book related content, because that's what's happened in the past. Like in the past year when I've posted non-book related videos, people have left comments saying things like, this isn't a book related video, I'm so disappointed in you. It's like, you're disappointed? Who are you, my mother? Honestly, you know, people need to realize that you can only read a certain amount of books every month, and sometimes you don't even want to talk about those books because they don't really inspire you to talk about them. We are more than the books we read. We are humans, we have experiences, and some of us want to talk about those experiences. And when it comes to people who are actively trying to branch out of the Booktube community, maybe they're doing like clothing hauls, or they're doing makeup videos, or getting into music, getting into film, I don't think anyone should be persecuted for being a truer version of themselves, because at the moment, you know, you're just seeing the book related me. You don't know anything else about me aside from my tastes in literature, really. Let's be honest now. I don't feel like I'm being fraudulent, but you are seeing a very narrow aspect of my personality, or of my interests rather. But when people are like bashing other people for wanting to do like film related videos or for doing makeup related videos, it's just like, why? They're trying to express themselves. They're trying to show you the other things that they're interested in. How are they being fake or being phony or being whatever it is you want to label them? I'm talking to you people on Guru Gossip. I see what you say on there. But when it comes to mental health, I think it is a very relevant topic, and it's something that I certainly want to talk more about. I think at this point I've discovered that what I want to do is to start a second channel where I can post whatever word vomit I want on it without worrying about the fear of persecution. You know, I don't want to worry about getting negative comments and dislikes and things like that simply because it's not a book review, a book haul, or whatever the fuck. So that's going to be like going up live in a couple of weeks, probably, whenever I have the spare time to actually start recording videos for it. Honesty is always met positively in this community. I've never seen anyone who's made like an honest video about how they're feeling ever receive a horrible backlash. And I think it's something that should be encouraged more, is if we are just more open. It would be one way to improve the community. Paul says, Booktube was once a thing, then it changed. What do you think it needs to change to thrive? That's a really, really good question. I think it needs a lot of things to change to thrive. One thing is that I feel that the community relies too heavily on doing the monthly staple videos. So those are the hauls, the TBRs, the wrap-ups, the unboxings. All these types of videos are really overkill, I feel, at this point. If you're someone who enjoys making those videos, then that's absolutely fine. As someone who doesn't really make those videos at all anymore, I've never been inspired by one of those videos. It's a shame because I did used to really enjoy them, but now I find that if I watch a haul, I'm generally being sold something by a publisher, and I don't have any animosity towards people who receive books from publishers for free and who haul them. If you're someone who's into reading a lot of new releases, then that is absolutely wonderful for you. I'm someone who likes reading older books. If you ask me, like, what are you books you're looking forward to coming out? I don't know. I don't know anything that's coming out or what's new and happening in the book publishing world. So a lot of these videos don't really appeal to me anymore. But I find that, like, especially, and this isn't being mean or being shady or anything like that, but like with the British booktubers, you can just watch one haul and you've watched them all, really, because everyone's been sent the same book from the various publishers. There needs to be more of a focus on book reviews and book discussions and analysing books and maybe recommendation videos. I know people absolutely love recommendation videos, rather than holding up a book and saying that you're excited to read it, because that's not very exciting anymore. And I think what is happening in the community at the moment is that a lot of people are at this stage in their video making careers where they don't really know if there's any value to continuing on making videos about books. It seems that a lot of people feel like they're at a crossroads, or maybe even at the end of the road. It's kind of like a where do we go from here? What else is there type of feeling that seems to be going on. And some people have left. That's my advice for maybe some people. Maybe you do need to leave. Like, maybe just have a break. I don't mean like get out, never come back kind of thing, but like when I took my break there, like the other month, at first I was so relieved to not have to worry about posting videos regularly or any of the kind of anxieties that go along with posting videos. But at a certain point I really started to miss it. I wrote down about 50 book related video ideas and like 20 or 30 non-book related video ideas while I was away, and I'm so excited to get through them all and to see your reaction to them. So maybe, you know, I came back really refreshed and revitalized, and maybe that is something that a lot of people need. Say, for example, if you're someone who is regularly posting, like if you post once or twice a week and you are feeling a bit worn out, maybe you do need to take a step back and have some me time, and in order to reevaluate what you're doing and what you want from your channel. My thoughts on the reason why this is happening to the point that it is at the moment is that a lot of us started these channels when we were teenagers, and now we're like in our 20s or our mid-20s. We've grown up and our tastes have changed and our wants and needs have changed. It's only natural for one of these, let's say, slumps to come along. And as always, we'll get through it. We always do. There's always like a great discussion to be had when these types of feelings come around, and we will just kind of put our head down and power on through, as we always do. The Booktube community isn't going anywhere. Booktube hasn't died, though people seem to be reacting as it has. This is one of those reflective periods that Booktube goes through, and there's been a lot of other problems in the community as well. Like, I've heard other people mention that the subscriber problem has been an issue. Like, it's definitely been an issue with me. Up until recently, my channel hadn't grown in about 5 months. I think in the last 30 days I've lost around 200 subscribers, and it is a kick in the teeth when you work hard on a video and you upload it only to get a lot of people to jump ship, and it's something that a lot of people have been dealing with at the moment. It's not inspiring, and it doesn't inspire you to continue making videos, but you just have to power on through. If it's something you really enjoy doing, you just have to keep on doing it, and your audience will find you. And if someone decides to unsubscribe because you decide to change up your content, it's like, well, that person was never actually with you to begin with, so you don't even need to count that loss. It's a very toxic area to get into when you're thinking about, will this video lose subscribers for me? Will this video get views for me? Those are really toxic thoughts to have, and if you want to give yourself writer's block when it comes to making videos, have those thoughts, and that's the best way a block will come around, because it will cripple you and you won't want to do anything. So the last tweet I just want to pull real quick is from Brit. They say, how everyone preaches diversity and yet the only diverse authors they read are ex-American authors. What about international authors? I think when it comes to diversity, you know, I think some people are really sick of hearing about it. Other people just can't get enough of it. It is a very important topic to talk about, and if you roll your eyes at the word diversity, you probably need to watch a few more videos to understand where people are coming from. It is something that is quite prominent in the book community. Like, I remember, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago, when the diversity discussions first kind of started, people started doing hauls, like diverse hauls. They were proclaiming that they were going to become a super diverse reader, and it never really manifested itself for some people. And it seems that, like, when these videos get heat, it gets people really revved up and inspired, and then they'll read one book by a woman and then kind of call it a day on the whole diverse thing. I think it's up to viewers to decide whether diversity is a topic that is important to them, and then secondly, to decide that if they want to continue someone who preaches diversity but doesn't really practice it. I think this topic also leads off into the dangerous waters of what a real reader is, or how to be a real reader, or what you should do in order to be a real reader. I don't think the amount of books you read every month makes you a better or worse reader. I don't think the amount of diverse books you read a month makes you a better or worse reader than anyone else. It's really your own personal taste. You know, we all like what we like. If diversity is an important topic to you, then you will read diverse books. You will go out there and find those authors that inspire you and who you can relate to. And if you're someone who feels that diversity doesn't do anything for you, you don't actually need diversity in your life, then that's fine for you. You know, great, you won the lottery there. You can continue reading whatever it is that you like reading. But I don't think you can force anyone to read diverse books. I think the discussions do need to continue. I've wanted to make a discussion on diversity for a very, very long time, and I'm going to, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to get around to filming my own take on the diversity and diverse books topic. And I just want to point out a few areas that haven't actually been discussed. It's very important to me to read diverse books. You know, some people might look at my Goodreads and say, oh, well, you've only read like 4 books by a woman this year, but you've read 20 books by a man. That's a really snobbish thing to do. You're getting very elitist there if you look down upon someone for who their favourite authors are, or who they like to read, or anything like that, or what topics they like to read about. I mean, the topics I like to read about aren't related to diversity. It doesn't really make a difference anyway, but I'd never not read a book because it's by a certain person. I don't have any prejudice when it comes to what I read. I'm still going to read their book if it's a topic that interests me. I think there has been some absolutely fucking incredible videos on diversity, and really important videos that like need to be cherished and need to be shown in lectures in colleges across the world. But I don't think it's fair to kind of judge people or like force people to read something that they may not really relate to or understand. I don't think it's fair to force authors to write diversely. It's a weird kind of area to get into, because now we're in the age where you can tweet your favorite author and say, hey, there wasn't any, let's say, mentally ill people in your novel. What's up with that? People are going to write about what they want to write about. Like, that's it. You can't bend someone's arm just because it's not to your preference. And the thing is, the books that people are wanting these authors to write already exist. They're written by authors who have experienced the trials and tribulations of being a minority. So you don't need to wait for your favorite white author to like pump out some bit of dribble that they were guilted into writing by their readers in order for their readers to feel like diverse readers. Like, that's it. That's it. Plain and simple, that's what it is. I don't think it should get into the borders of being a real reader, or like you're not a real reader if you don't read diversely, or you're not a real reader if you don't read a certain amount of books a month, or like you're not a real booktuber if you don't read a certain amount of books every month, or if you don't read diversely, or if you don't read this or you don't read that. It's just like, stop labeling people. Let people breathe and read what they want to read. So those are my thoughts on the various different things that have been happening in the booktube community. Let me know your opinions on these various topics, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.